Well, welcome everybody to Debuffed Talks Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. This is going to be our first podcast about Final Fantasy.
Woo!
Yay! And I am Dash Shiva. I'll be your host this evening for the cast. And with me, I have two very avid Final Fantasy players. We have Vadrana. Say hello.
What's up?
What's up? And Chip.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. And so we'd like to welcome everyone this evening to our podcast. And we're going to be definitely talking about 2.1 because that's the patch that's launching this week, correct?
Yes, sir. On Tuesday, it'll be
Tuesday.
launching. Servers are going down in about less than 6 hours, so get your playtime in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get whatever you need to get done before the patch goes live.
That's
And
what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, Chip, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Oh, hello, everyone. It's Chip. If you don't know me, I'm Kanadi Edgecombon Guild, the second sexiest white mage after Miss Eggy, of course. I see you there. Yeah.
Very good introduction. And Vadrana.
I am Jonna Shulk. As you can see, I'm not the She-Hulk in real life, unfortunately, but I do play a giant Rogadin warrior. Everyone fears me, and I just go around smashing stuff with my axe.
Cool. So what you guys been up to in Final Fantasy the past couple
Chip,
of
you can go
weeks?
first.
Oh, come on. It's me here. I do whatever it takes. I'm everywhere. If it involves me DPSing as a white mage and showing a black mage how it's done, I'm there. Miss Eggy can take full credit of that, of course. She does it better. If you need some people to talk to, I'm there. If you want some crafting broken, I'm the guy for it.
Cool.
I have not been as busy as Chip on the crafting department, but I have been got into coils for the first time and trying to relearn my class for 2.1. So it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Right before
Oh, no.
everything changes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna relearn, and then you're gonna have to relearn.
Yeah.
After
That's
you
how it
relearn.
always works anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. And so then we'll get right into it and talk about what's coming up in this next patch for Final Fantasy. And first, the story, the main scenario quest added. So how excited are you guys to continue the main scenario quest?
It's a little different, it seems a little anticlimactic. If any of you played Guild Wars 2, you know that there's such a big build-up, and then remember the phase when you're all on the ship's cannons and you're shooting at Zaitan and you're like, click. Oh, wait, reloading, click. So,
I remember
this
that.
is
I was
it?
all excited to do it. And then
Yeah, right? I was
Yeah.
like, this is it! We're killing him! Click. Click. That's how it kind of felt. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're willing to expand this. Like maybe it's like a transition towards a new faction or something of that shows up to threaten the land, and you have to rise up out of retirement and say, "Roar! I'm here."
Well, I was looking at they're adding like a lot of new quests for everything in-game story-wise, like from all different directions. So I'm kind of excited to kind of get away from the primals maybe and look at the new threat. Maybe we get to see more of the Garlean Empire. Try to go more into that direction. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, that would be cool because it just seems like it's just all about doing the gear grind right and the dungeon grind and
Yep.
doing the crafting and
I won't lie, yeah.
yeah. So it'd be kind of nice to change it up a little, right? And that's what this patch is all about.
Yep.
Is giving more quality of life things to do and more story and that's what we'll get onto. And so the Beast Tribe dailies. What are the Beast Tribe daily quests?
Well, first of all, I want to emphasize these dailies. Do not think of them as dailies like in SOTOR, where I have to do a daily to get this PvP gear. Do not think of it in that way. A daily just in this sense, the daily just means you have an allotment, but it's not combat related. All you get is furniture, minions, and mounts. There is nothing battle related. You don't even need to touch the beast tribes if you don't want to. This just gives you insight on the things you've been killing for your hunting log. Gives you an insight onto their way of life. So if you want to do it, great. But if you don't have to. So please do not think of this as they're introducing daily systems where we have to gear grind just like we do in the dungeons. Do not think of it that way. That is not how it is.
So wait, so what exactly is the Beast Tribe daily?
Well, just imagine it as it basically an insight of to what the beast tribes are. Just because you are the dominant faction on that land doesn't mean the beast tribes are sentient people as well. So they have their own way of life, their own culture. You need to, it explores that.
And Shiv just said they also give tombstones, so it's just kind of like an alternative method of getting the gear you need, but they're not forcing you to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's really not a grind. I cannot emphasize that enough. A lot of people hate the dailies. I hate them too. If I'm pretty psyched for this because it's not a gear grind, it'll be okay.
So almost like another avenue of getting gear rather than instead of one way or two ways, you have multiple ways, I guess you could say.
Definitely.
Okay. So what everybody's excited about though, new dungeons, more ways to grind, and maybe
To
not
get your butt kicked.
yeah,
Yeah, to
exactly.
kill things. Just show a little ownage. No big deal.
Yeah. And so do you guys like it hard? Because we're gonna get a lot of hard mode. The new dungeons. And so we're gonna show a few pictures of the new dungeons. And so first we're gonna talk about, is it Pharos?
Farah Sirius.
Pharos
Yes.
Sirius.
Yeah.
And so just a screenshot of that. Tell us a little about that, Chip.
Well, it is, Pharaoh Sirius was already in game. Basically, Garuda makes her home there. You gotta go in there, kick her butt. She's being a little fussy princess, and instead of saving her, you strike her down with your staff, and it's gonna be great. I mean, in the trailer, they showed an NPC firing guns at you, and I could not stop smiling. It was awesome. It's just a giant line. It's like, pew! Oh, look, you're dead, kind of deal. So it'll be really fun. I cannot wait to explore that dungeon. It looks really amazing. The graphics on it are really different compared to all the dungeons we've been. We've kind of been like an underground kind of deal. This is more along the lines of open air, tall tower, holes in it. You get to see the sky and all that stuff. It'll be really fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I always
It's
liked
just
that when it showed. I forget what dungeon it was. Like at the end when you ended up at the. I always forget the names, but you end up with the. You're like in a cove, and it's showing the ocean and everything. It's like a sunset,
Satasha?
and it has the 4 drains that you have to.
Nastasha, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I always liked how all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm outside. Yeah.
Nobody ever clicks the drains.
Yeah.
What's the point? You just
Yeah.
stand there in the center anyway.
Yeah.
Blizzard 2, roar!
Yeah. So
I mean,
what were you
this-
gonna say?
This is a chance for them to put more awesome mechanics that, I mean, if you've been through the game and you've been up to coils, you've seen what they've been doing with all the fun stuff, and the game is definitely not limited at all mechanic-wise. So they could do anything they want.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I know that's one thing I always enjoyed about all the dungeons and everything. Just it was so varied. I mean, it's like the same stuff, but that we're used to in MMOs. But just it seemed like there's such a variance of each boss had like a different mechanic or a different thing to do. It was just it kept each dungeon unique, I guess you could say, because there was so much difference between the bosses. But now we're gonna talk about Copperbell
And Hawk Manor.
and Hawk.
Those are the two hard modes that they're doing. If you don't remember, those are the dungeons we had to run through in the story. So they're introducing the hard mode of that dungeon, an alternative path on how to do it.
And also everything they're adding, like all the new dungeon and stuff, has prerequisite quests that you have to do before you can go into them. So it's not like a surprise, new dungeon. They actually have backstory. They have reasons why we're there, what we're doing, and so you're not just popping in and killing stuff and then leaving.
Yeah, I cannot emphasize enough how I felt about Copperbell Mines. I thought we should have gone Brayflox. Brayflox is an amazing dungeon. When we go into Copperbell, I have a feeling the Hecaton here that you guys see right there, that's pretty much like the baby version that we killed, and then, in the hard mode, Mama Hecaton is going to come out and play. That's how I feel. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I was feeling when I saw hard mode Copperbell.
I'd like to see a cave-in mechanic or something like that. I'd really like to see that.
The mama gets angry. It says, "No more time!" Boom, and you just rocks fall on you. Dungeon ends.
No
You're
more
dead.
time. No more time. Yes, and so if you like it hard, we're looking forward to these 2 hard mode dungeons. And now, Crystal Tower.
Oh, this is gonna be
This
fun.
looks pretty. It looks very pretty.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crystal Tower. God, just so much. So
Ah,
much love, so much awesomeness in one place. Different
uh,
paths. You can heal across the paths. You can help each other. You're cooperative. Sometimes you're not cooperative. It's gonna be awesome.
yeah. There are negatives to this, and we will be discussing those negatives later. But don't get me wrong. This is not the thing where we just praise it for all it is. It has good moments, it has bad moments. Crystal Tower has that. But Crystal Tower will offer us a new way to, do some stuff with some people. Now that I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of running AK for like the 200th freaking time. This will be something else. And plus you get gear from it. And Yoshi has already stated, Crystal Tower is for gearing your ults. Now people say, "Oh, that's kind of dumb." Well, if you're running coils is your main gear. If you're running coils as a main, and you run this every week, you're getting the gear regardless. And it'll look cool. Two, it's for an alternate that he clearly states that. So a lot of people who say, "Oh, Crystal Tower, the lockout," this is for your alternate. This is really not for your main. So I can't emphasize that enough.
So it lies below.
It lies below what the mythology and elegant stuff that you get from the Binding Codes of Bahamut. But this is for your alternate. So let's say I'm going in there as a white mage into coils, and then I say, "Hey, I want to go into my monk," but it's geared from Crystal Tower. That gear will transfer over to coils. Was like, "Oh, I'm Crystal Tower geared. Let's do this kind of thing."
We had a question. No, there should not be a lockout for Coil. They've never mentioned it, and since it's on the duty finder, there's no reason you would be locked out.
Wait, for Crystal,
There is
it says.
we have a question about the clarification of the loot drops. Are we gonna talk about that now, or?
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree with you guys more. I mean, I feel that, you know what? It's like AK. I want to run it as often as I'd like. Getting one drop a week is kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, it's really about coils. Coils is going to be their go-to end game content. So we really need to focus on that fact. And they really emphasize Crystal Tower is gearing an alt or gearing a main that is going into coils. Maybe.
Here's the thing about the loot, though. Yoshi P already stated that you can get more than one piece of loot. You cannot hit the need button on more than one piece of loot a week. So, but the fact that you can't queue with your group of people that you know needs or doesn't need the gear will limit your chances of getting to greed an item by a lot. So if you're a DPS class, good luck. Because
White mage?
Yeah, there's no way. If you're a tank, you're probably got a really good chance of getting a greed item.
Yeah.
But you can get as much loot as you want, but you just have to be in a group that passes or greeds.
So hopefully you're with a bunch of people that want to distribute the loot in the right way, right?
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's
I
hope for
don't. On the duty finder, I don't know about that.
Well, see, this is what we're gonna do. This is Sophie brought up this point. Two things. One, it'll be with us. Each loot chest will be separated for each group. So Group A can be a duty finder. Group C can be a duty finder. We'll be Group B. We'll be able to talk between ourselves to do it. And two, what Sophie recommended, which I think is awesome, we just queue up all together at once. At like the Dutch, like we're looking, instead of English, it says Dutch or French. And chances are we'll be able to group together all three groups, from the FC, and we'll be like, yeah!
What if
I say we give it a shot.
Group gets stuck in there and then?
Well, if it's a random group, then it's like, you know what, dude, do your own thing. We'll get ours. That's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. And so is Crystal Tower gonna make it easier to get into coils?
Definitely.
It's a great stepping stone.
Okay.
It's a really great stepping stone because right now
there was kind of a big gap, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
a huge gap.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, cool. So it's kind of just filling in the blank, or almost filling in the next step. Okay, so now, if you want to make things harder or even better, what would you do? Add an X to it. So we're going to talk about extreme mode primals. And so we're going to talk about
God.
Garuda first.
This is just really quick. Guys, this is gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a fun disaster. If you remember the days of Titan, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get landslided. Now you have 5 to deal with. Roar, Mr. Torg Extreme. Roar! That's what's gonna happen.
Is that all that's gonna happen with Garuda?
Oh, with all of them, I think it's gonna be unpleasant. It's just, for Garuda, there's gonna be tornadoes everywhere. It's like, that show Storm Chasers or whatever. Just imagine yourself just being pummeled by wind. Well, I'm sorry, that's the only one I know where they actually go into a tornado. Name me another show that
Have you
does.
ever wanted to be in Storm Chasers? To extreme mode, Garuda.
Titan, just bombs, ads. There's just going to be so many landslides.
Is he just gonna have more HP?
Yeah, and there's going to be like one safe zone. Let me emphasize, there's going to be like a tiny safe zone the size of a dime for all of his tumult. So good luck.
You're just gonna be standing under him.
Yeah, just a little bit. No big deal.
What about Ifrit?
The hardest of them all? Oh, there's like a billion nails everywhere. Oh, let's just rely on the Black Mage to do it. Oh, wait a minute. The Black Mage can't hit all of them. There's like 17 billion nails around. So this isn't good. This content, it's going to really show us. This isn't a game where you can carry people. I mean, Titan, yes, you can carry, but this extreme mode, this is going to require everyone doing their part, just like in coils. You don't see people selling coil runs now, do you? It's because people need to pull their weight.
Yep. There will be no carrying on extreme mode, and to get the weapon, you have to beat all 3 extreme mode primals, who will also now drop accessories, which is huge, because there was also a gap in accessories because the loot in coil is so random that you really rely on that heroic and darklight jewelry for a long, long time, and crafted jewelry as well. So now we have another source of getting jewelry, and I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans. So it's just gonna be harder. Maybe you're just gonna stand in lava the whole time for Ifrit.
Oh god, it's just gonna be where I'm like, dude, I'm done with this, and we'll go one more time, and it be down. It's like, yes, kind of deal. Yeah.
I enjoy those moments in MMOs though.
Yeah.
Where it's just so extreme, and then you finally beat it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
best.
great.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna talk next about Good King Moogle.
All right,
Mog.
that's just some,
What
Good
is
King
it?
Moogle Mog.
What
It's
is it?
as it sounds. It's basically an event. It's a boss fight rather. You get it from Gridania. Basically, Moogles are angry. You gotta kill this big giant thing, and can't emphasize enough. The music of it is from what the heck is that movie called by Tim Burton?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, that one. It goes, Good King Moogle Mog, Good King Moogle Mog, da na na na, and it's just like, aww.
This is Halloween. We are ripping off the tune. Exactly.
No, it's not even. It's just deliberate, but I don't care. I like that movie, so it's gonna be that. You guys get unique drops from it. Pretty much, that's it. Unique drops, weapons, that kind of stuff. It's gonna be. It's not an extreme mode primo. Can't emphasize that enough. They're looking for this is like a beginner Ifrit kind of
this
difficult.
is
Okay.
and the weapons look really funny.
Yeah.
The weapons look funny.
Oh
Yeah, it's got like Moogles all over it. I mean, like I think
you're just
the
gonna be bashing
fists.
people with Moogles.
Yeah, the
Kinda.
monk fists are Moogle heads, and you're punching people with Moogle heads.
The
Yeah.
book is literally like, if you imagine a
But why
book and then you put
why wouldn't you want that?
a cushioned face of Moogles on each of the faces, and it's like, why is this face book extra fat? You just see the Moogle face just standing there smiling like like that.
Does it make like a noise every time? The Moogle noise every time you hit with it?
Oh God, I hope not.
Oh,
Oh,
would.
God,
I
I
would
hope
turn on
not.
sound for that. I would.
Everybody
No.
has the weapons. It's just
God, please don't.
all right.
Okay.
So we look forward to this fight.
Yes.
But now, Ultima's Bane.
Yes.
What
This is
Ultima's Bane.
I didn't actually look too much into this.
really well. Basically,
Yeah.
Ultima's
It looks
extra
awesome.
man. Now, you guys remember the cutscene when Ultima? Well, spoiler alert. Just gonna say it right now. He eats all 3 of the primals. He says he eats
Nom,
Ifrit,
nom, 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 nom.
Garuda, and Titan for lunch. And this dude is getting a buff, and he's gonna be extra mad. And we get some good stuff from here, but I'm looking forward to facing him. he is really a cool boss because he had some interesting mechanics. He had all three of them at once, and it's Ultima Weapon. Come on, we have got to just really do this. So it'll be really great to fight him.
I think this is an example of how community feedback can also affect a game, because I don't know if they were planning on doing this originally, but everyone said, we want Ultima Weapon, we want Ultima Weapon, we want Ultima Weapon, and then we got it, and it's probably going to be so freaking hard that no one is going to want to do it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Everybody
he
likes
deserves to die.
it looks awesome though. Like, look at that. Just
Yeah, it makes you feel like us tiny people against this giant thing.
His green ground effect is really hard to see too. It's on that dark floor, he does a green line that's not a full colored in kind of box. And if you're colorblind in any way, you are gonna have a hard time seeing that.
All right.
For green at least.
even harder.
Yes.
Super hard mode.
Super hard, extreme.
All right,
Yeah.
I like it.
His name's Ultima, extreme, hard, Final Fantasy. Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yes. Okay. Now, for something else to do besides dungeon running in Final Fantasy, let's talk about PvP.
Holla! I suck
Yeah.
at it.
I know.
I am
I'm gonna
a
run
PvP
in.
monster. I love to fight other
A
people.
monster. You're like.
Oh, a monster. I mean,
You're like
I'm.
Cookie Monster for PvP.
Oh, if only. I mean, I go through cookies like nothing.
Hmm.
My oatmeal cookie jar is empty, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
PvP is gonna be fun. It's gonna be based in the Wolf's Den. So if you guys want to see a picture of that, it's a really pretty place. Can't tell you enough that it's a really great place. Sophie again was very nice to show me. It was an abandoned place. It had a market. It had a bell. It's a great place to craft, but it just looks just plain gorgeous. And they're willing to do a lot of this. Oh shoot! Oh, there we go. PvP, it's going to be great there. I mean, you're going to be divided into teams of 4. There's I think the minimum is 30. There's level 30 PvP, level 40, and then max level PvP. There are PvP exclusive skills here. Now that means if I go in as my white mage, I'll have my white mage skills, but then I'll have the PvP exclusive skills that'll help me out. So this is interesting because it now brings the point. Hey, these cross-class skills are really important. Swift, can you imagine just being a white mage and you're hiding and you're healing, and then you suddenly say, Swift cast holy, boom, and they're all stunned at once and your DPS just goes to town on them? That sounds fun.
Did they say that they said stuns were not going to be diminishing returns, right?
Oh, I don't know. I honestly wish I knew.
Because that, with people swinging and interrupting you, that is going to be a nightmare for casters.
Yeah, well, better.
I'm really
line of
sad
sight
they
them.
didn't really announce any of that. They're just like, here's PvP.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna find out how good it is. Right?
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy.
And you get armor too, which will be nice for the appearance slots or whatever in 2.2.
Yeah, and
Okay.
can't emphasize that enough.
Mm-hmm.
So what will be the point of PvP?
Well, basically,
Fun.
it's yeah.
Just to
You
bash
want to
each
kill
other
other
for now?
people.
Is
You
that
really
gonna-
get good stuff. You get PvP exclusive gear from it,
Okay.
and it's
Oh,
really
what
to
are some
show
of the
your
gear that
dominance.
you can use in PvP.
Yeah, you show your dominance of people. I mean, PvE is great, but sometimes it's just like, hey, my DPS is better than yours. No, my DPS is better than yours. Let's put it to the test. Let's fight each other. Let's do this.
So tons of EPing then.
Oh, I didn't. Well,
Well, this is
it
just-
what it is.
I think they hinted at possibly Grand Company fighting at some point. So this is just the early baby stages, just like the housing. It's going to open the door for stuff we'll see next year, possibly team fighting or something like that, like the arena in WoW, to where you can group up.
Okay. So right now it's just free for all.
It's
You
groups.
can make your own
Oh,
team.
it's
Yeah.
groups.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
your
teams,
own
but I
teams.
don't know if you could have like banners or something to like represent your guild, or
I don't think so. I think it's
they've
just-
got a lot of stuff they can expand on.
Yeah, I think it's just you're put into 2 teams, the Wolves or the Fangs. Either one doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You do what you do. One's blue, one's white. I personally like the white armor best, but that's me.
Yeah, does your armor get auto dyed
I think
to
so.
whatever color? Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you go in and your armor just gets auto-dyed to whatever team you're on.
I think so.
Cool beans. You look like Green Ranger, White Ranger.
Oh,
Mastodon!
Yeah, pterodactyl. Okay, now let's talk about treasure hunt.
all right.
What's
So,
your treasure hunt?
for all of you Disciple of Land people that actually bothered to level it pre-patch, like some people I know here who I don't know how you did it. Basically, when you start mining the rare nodes, you're gonna get a chance for maps. Now, these maps will contain, once you use it, you can find treasure. Now, this treasure is gonna be guarded by a monster. Some of it is single. Some of it requires a full party. The rarest maps require a full party of 8 to kill and get the treasure. It's a great alternative way to get some equipment, some gil, and I cannot emphasize this enough, tomestones. I cannot emphasize that enough. You get good stuff for doing these treasure hunts, and it's, you get to explore the land a little bit. It's like, oh, it's in Lower Lenosha. Where the heck is Lower Lenosha? I've never been there. Oh, wait a minute, this place? Yeah, I've been here before. And you start looking for it, and you get the treasure, and then you spawn some hideous monster that wants to kill you, and your entire party has to kill it. It'll be really fun.
So it's almost like a open world kind of boss fight. Kind of like
Yes.
you go look for it, and there's a boss fight, and then you get gear from him.
Kind of, but it's all
But
for
you
you.
have to have a map before
It's
you
for your
can
group.
find it.
So if people want to kind of leech, it's like, oh, I'll just follow this treasure hunt group. Good luck. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, I think it's also another opportunity if you've ever done Battlecraft leaves, where you get like a notorious monster that shows up. Those might make a return because some of them look really cool and you never see them again in the game.
Yeah.
And then this might be a great time for them to showcase some cool looking mobs and new mechanics for whatever pops out of the chest.
Yeah.
The thing I was concerned with is they didn't say what kind of gear is going to drop or how hard it's going to be. Like, is this gear going to be like the trash you get in the leaves? Because if so, that's kind of disappointing. But
Yeah, they weren't specific, but I'm hoping it's some decent, like maybe for the rare ones, it'll be like I-50, 560.
that would
maybe.
be great.
Something like AK's level or even Pharaoh's Serious's level. So we'll see.
Yeah. To get 8 people together, the gear better be eye level
Worth it.
70 or something like that, yeah.
Something nice.
So will this be an alternative to then doing your dungeon runs and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For tombstone wise, most likely, but as far as gear, we don't know yet.
Yeah,
We'll have to see what kind of gear drops.
Yeah.
for sure.
Cool. Now, what everybody's excited about.
Warrior changes.
Yay!
No, I'm just kidding.
Housing.
All right.
So let's show the housing video real quick, and then we'll talk about it.
And
So we're
this
gonna
is
have-
just like Mediterranean, so I'm like, eh.
There's my tanning spot.
Oh, wait, you'll see. Look at those Mikode.
Ah!
They took it over.
That's Limsa! That should be Roganins there, not Makotes.
So we have what? The mist, lavender
damn.
beds, and the goblet.
Yes. Guys, this is going to be a great opportunity for us. Housing is going to be very expensive. I cannot emphasize that. It's very expensive. And there is no reason why we shouldn't do tier 1 or the first rate. It's like, you do a 5th rate hotel or 1st rate hotel. Would you rather go to like the largest 5th rate, or would you go to like the small 1st rate? I would go for the false 1st rate. So we are going to base our prices on that. The cost is very extensive. The small plot is 10 million. The medium plot is 37.5 million, and the large plot is 125 million. Now, this is, it is what it sounds. It's a money sink, but it's going to be a great money sink where you can really take advantage of this stuff. They have already said that there are bonuses to using the housing. So, shameless plug here. If you have some donations, please send it to the guild officers, and they will take care of it. But other than that, it's really promising to see what they're kind of willing to do with this project. I am such a huge fan of housing and like if we hold a guild meeting or something and we just go in there and in our own house and be able to show, hey, look, we're all here gathered here. It'll be really fun.
Yeah, kind of a cool place for everybody to see each other instead of just out in the open or whatever.
Yeah, I think, did they say that there were going to be crafting and retainers and stuff in the game?
Yes.
In the house tomorrow or whenever it comes out?
They will have a retainer, and they're also thinking of having market boards in each house, I think.
That would determine, I think, because Ghibli hasn't come out and officially said which tier we're going for, but for now, we can't afford anything, we can't even afford the small.
I think if people, realize the predicament we're in, I think we can afford the small, and I think that's the best path to go. We need to start small. Don't think, oh, let's save immediately for the large plot. That'll take such a long time. You're going to lose a lot of bonuses. So let's go ahead and, start small, work your way up.
Now,
there's just no reason.
Can you use the 10 million that you spent on the small and then upgrade?
No.
I actually don't know. I mean,
I'm pretty sure someone said you can't.
I don't know if that's something they're willing to do. Like, let's say, oh, you drop 10 million, but then, hey, I want to expand my plot. Let's add the 30, add 30, I don't know.
Now, what's the benefit between having the small to the large, or
more places to put stuff?
Okay, it's just more room.
Decorating.
More stuff. And,
in EverQuest 2, the way they did guild housing, which they might do here, is that you could also afford more amenities. Like you would have a retainer or a market board or something like that. But, I mean, that is so far down the road. And also, every month, the prices on these plots, every day actually, are going to go down and down and down. So if we just wait maybe like half a year till we know what 2.2 is going to bring, I think we would benefit more from that.
Yeah.
Hopefully Ghibli picks the small price, or the small house.
Yeah, let's just get a small and then let's work, see what happens in the future. Because this way, at least we have the housing, we can start working on that, but then we have a plan of action for the future.
Okay, cool. So where do you guys want to be?
Oh, lavender beds.
We voted on, is that Gridania? Yeah. The guild voted when the game first came out, and they said Gridania.
Okay. So
I think everyone wants Limsa now for some reason.
But is it because of the beach? Is it the...
I think so, but it was weird because everybody voted at the beginning for Gridania, and then
they didn't see that video of the everybody on the beach.
The Limsa was in the beta. You could walk in and see the plots, but I guess people wanted Gridania. I don't know.
Well, maybe now it's so cold, everyone just looked at the beach and went.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to be there.
Yeah, I don't want to see Makote's in any more hot pants, though. Please. God,
nothing wrong with that.
That's the reason, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but eventually, when they add personal housing, where would you like to be?
Yeah, I've already.
I think 99% of the guild is going to be in Limsa.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have my own little treehouse then. Let's do it.
Okay. Cool.
Or Hobbit Hill, rather.
Yes, Hobbits.
Hobbit Hill.
Smaug.
Yeah, I still need to see that movie, by the way.
Fantastic.
So no spoilers, please.
Fantastic. All right. So now let's talk about the exciting skill changes.
So many.
Yeah.
If I printed out a Word document and made the font 10, it would fill up my entire screen.
We're going to keep it short, though. There are a lot of the changes are really there for you, but we're just basically going to give you what's it called? A summation of it. And you can read it all on the official forums or the official Final Fantasy XIV website, all the particular details there, potency increase, blah, 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 blah. We're just going to give you a round summation of what they're doing to each of the class. Dash?
Right. Well, go ahead, Chip.
Oh, all right. Well,
just summarize it for us really quick.
Paladin.
Don't summarize a warrior. I call dibs.
Fine. Okay. I promise. I'll give you that one. Wait, did I even put that? Yeah, I did Marauder somewhere there. Paladin. You guys get more enmity generated from Shield Oath. That's pretty much it. Monks, you gain more damage. Emphasis on side to back flank play. So, usually some monks like to stay just on the side and spam. Now they're rewarding you from going side to back, and repeat. They're really emphasizing
that. One's huge.
They're really emphasizing the potency increase. It's not like, oh, this is pretty crap. No, you are losing a lot of DPS if you just stay on the side. Marauder, I guess that's all you.
Complete overhaul.
Jonna, it's all you.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was reading what you wrote about the Marauder. I wouldn't call
Spaced
it a
out.
complete overhaul per se, but we're getting more enmity on our abilities so that we can actually use the abilities that don't have enmity that have utility. So we have way more utility now. We can pull things towards us and root it, and we are invulnerable for 6 seconds. I think the biggest thing, I think everyone knows all this already. Everyone's read the patch notes like a million times, but the biggest thing we're getting is the ability to counteract large bursts of damage. They gave us one ability to do this when the game first came out. It healed me, I kid you not, in Coil the other day. It healed me for 800. I have 7,600 health. That is supposed to save me from dying? Like, what? So now I have an ability that was stacked, reduces damage. So we get up to something like 50 something percent damage reduction for 6 seconds, and then once that wears off, we get like another 40. So and they put our heal proc on our buff, like everyone said you should do back in beta, but they never did. So now we can use our abilities without totally screwing ourselves and the healers.
Yeah.
So those are mostly the big things.
Yeah. Dragoons, for you guys, increased damage to your flank as well. Your animation lock on your jump is shortened, and the animation is shortened as well. That's good. White mages, you get a reduced enmity and medica, so it heals for less, but the regen is double the time. Increased range in Cure 3, reduced holy damage, and people who say, oh, that's such a bad nerf. No. You can nerf holy all you want. We're still going to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
Black mage, you get reduced potency in Blizzard, reduced in Scathe, but you buffed up freeze. So that'll be really cool. And Arcanist, this is really important for all you people with cross-class skills. Virus is now nerfed in the sense where if you cast Virus, the enemy after Virus expires will have a buff called Antibody that prevents the casting of Virus for another 90 seconds on that particular
This one
enemy.
is huge.
That's
we use
big.
Virus a lot in raiding.
It's very important. So, the rotation of Virus needs to be spot on. I know for a fact in turn 5, you use Virus to kill off Death Sentence. Well, if you can have a 90 seconds every time, that's gonna hurt. And that's for, the question with the Holy. We lose Holy, 40 potency in Holy, but we get a 50 potency attack in Blizzard 2. So we get a bind plus a stun. So just do Holy, Blizzard, reduced enmity, more potency. It's a win.
Yeah, the Blizzard thing is going to be pretty sick for the other mages.
Oh, and bigger radius on Bane for all of you people, fans of Bane. Not in a...
That's so needed.
Batman, not that Bane.
Is that your impression?
I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this. I really can't.
You
do
were
it.
born, you adapted to the low range. I was born with the 3 alms range that never hit anything around my mob.
You just have to cover your mouth when you talk.
I'm talking like a British person.
And of course, in a Scholar, you guys get increased lustrate heals by like 5%.
I didn't see anything about the bard in there.
I mean, they got some like I think what's it called? Their root skill was increased from like 18 seconds to like 90 seconds, and Hawk Eye or something like that, or Hawk's Eye makes them not miss anymore, something
And
like that.
Rain of Death is not a damage reduction anymore.
Oh yes, not attacking.
That's being moved to the warriors, so they're not nerfing anything. They're just making it so you want to have a warrior in the party. I think they're really tired of people stacking classes, honestly.
Yeah, they're changing. Instead of when you use Rain of Death, it's reduced damage. It's now reduced evasion by 10%.
Which is great, because now they never have to cast it. So,
All
because
right.
everyone should have max accuracy anyways.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so that was just a little rundown, right?
Yeah, just some of the changes, some of the
Yeah,
really
major.
important changes. There's a bunch of others, but do you really want to listen to me talk for another hour and a half?
No, we'd like you to read the patch notes, please.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Here we go.
I'm getting some weird internet connectivity issues here.
We can
Let's
see
just
you
all
fine.
DC.
Well, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
Thanks,
see.
Spain.
And they're adding a whole bunch of spell effects and stuff. That was another thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
Spell effects. Now that's
and
what I mean.
animation changes.
So it's just gonna be like all fireworks going off. It's gonna be like EverQuest 2.
Oh god.
I
That
remember
was
I never
horrible.
played.
Oh
when I
god,
first played
EverQuest is so
2,
horrible.
I was like, oh, look at these spell effects. These are awesome. And then you got into a raid and you're like, okay, this isn't so
My
awesome
eyes!
anymore.
I can't even see my character.
Where's the
so many
mob?
knights.
Where's the
Oh
mob?
god, that got turned off immediately when I
Yeah.
raided.
Exactly.
Alright.
I still don't think my computer can handle it now. So.
Nope. It takes a computer from the year 3000 to handle EverQuest 2,
Extra fancy.
Yeah.
and that's why it failed.
And so
Alright.
hopefully these spell effects aren't too crazy, right?
They
No.
shouldn't be.
Okay.
Let's see here. There's
So
a bunch
now-
of other changes too.
Yeah. So the changes to the duty finder and instances, and so now it's pretty much a duty roulette. So random, you queue up for random, and so you can earn tomes if you queue up
Yeah.
for random. Now
Um,
just this once a day.
Nope, you can do it as many times as you'd like. Just random dungeon, you'll get. There's like it's divided up into tiers, so like low level, mid level, high level. High level, you get WP, AK, Pharaoh Sirius, hard mode, Copper Bell, hard mode Hawk, and that's pretty much it. So who's gonna bet? Vidrana said it earlier. We're all gonna get AK all the freaking time, and we're gonna be like, "Ja, no more!"
Yeah, every time
What?
you do duty roulette for 50 dungeons, it's going to be AK and WP, guaranteed.
Yeah, it's gonna be unpleasant. Another thing, kick command for all of those people who just are so infuriating. You can now vote kick them out of the party.
Yeah.
Oh, that's essential. It really
And you will
is.
be vote kicked out of the game if you abuse that, apparently.
Yeah, so
So-
if somebody's just being a punk, kick them out, but don't kick them
Yeah.
out just because it's like, oh, hi.
Your DPS sucks. Get out of my
Roar!
group.
So wait,
Yeah,
if you
like
get
that's
kicked
not a
out of
good.
the game.
Well, they said they're going to ban you if you or
If you get
punish
too many,
you.
like,
Yeah, if you do too many bans for the wrong reason.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
You
so
have to
can't-
put a
so you-
reason why you boot them too.
Okay, so it's almost like works both ways. You can't just be a random person that's
Mhm.
mean and
And
kick people.
Shiv just said you can only use it every 4 hours too.
Oh, there you go. Oh, thanks,
Yeah,
Shiv.
every
That's
4
awesome.
hours.
I did not see that.
What if you
All
get-
right.
Terrible people every hour.
Let's see.
Welcome to Duty Finder.
Yeah.
That's all I could say.
Oh, that's pugging, right?
It's a
Yeah.
crapshoot.
Pugging.
Yeah, really, it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's also commendations. So when you guys finish a dungeon, I don't know if you played League of Legends. There's the honor systems, kind of like that. You tell them, "Hey, good job."
Hey,
Just
good
do it.
job.
Just do it.
Just a
There's
happy.
yeah, it's like you do great. You did great. Kudos, buddy.
It's like a
And
happy
if
face.
you earn a significant amount, you get stuff. I personally want the paradigm barding for my chocobo. So please, if you run with me, just say, Chip, you did amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Let's just do that.
So wait,
I
so what-
believe-
So what are commendations?
I believe Shiv just said run with your free company. I'm almost 90% sure they already fixed this issue by saying you can only get this vote by running duty roulette. Have you heard that, Chip?
Oh no, I've not. I thought it was.
Because you could just
That'd be
run with your
perfect.
free company and vote yourselves. Which
Mm.
would be, I'm almost positive you can only get this MVP system or whatever through duty roulette.
Okay. There's also something called Party Finder. So all of you people who hate /shout, it's like, oh, LF3M healer DPS tank for Ifrit hard mode. That's gone. Party Finder's right there. They'll say, look, this party needs this. Or it's like, you want to speedrun dungeons, you can do it right there on the Party Finder.
So it's
Easy
like
stuff.
It's like a more specific duty finder.
Yeah, and you can just place it right there. There's no more need to clog Shout. I don't know how many Grievance players turned off Shout from the first freaking day of Final Fantasy because everyone was on there. So, yeah, it'll be really great.
If it works. There's
I'm
been
hoping it
things like
does.
that have been implemented, but nobody used them, and they were terrible. So
Wow.
if they implement something that works well, then I'm all for it. But if no one ever uses it, we're just going to be back in Mordona.
Yeah.
So I think they should know how to design it well enough to where people want to use it. So
I hope so. I really do.
Yeah. Or
Me
it could-
too.
Or it could just be one of those functions that was a good idea and then nobody uses it.
yeah, exactly. There's been many games where they've implemented something and it's like
Yeah.
there's
Then,
just something off with it.
Like you were talking about EverQuest 2 or whatever. Like it had.
Were you gonna say the Dungeon Finder?
Yeah, or it had Dungeon Finder or the even before the dungeon fighter, like the LFG thing.
Yeah.
You
Oh
do
my
slash
God.
LFG and it brings up this thing, and you notice that no one uses it. It's better to talk in chat. So.
That's a great example of how not to make a game, actually.
Yeah. Exactly.
They could just go look at anything Sony has made, maybe
Okay.
not PlanetSide 2, but anything before PlanetSide 2, and go, okay,
Hey, don't talk about it like that. Okay,
let's
so
see.
now, something that should have been in the game maybe since launch, especially the first day.
Mhm.
If you're inactive for for 10 minutes, or is this just in the duty, or is this in
it's in the
game?
duty.
Just
In the
They've
duty.
had an AFK timer in the game that it doesn't work sometimes, but
It doesn't work.
Now it's basically like,
Alright.
look,
I hope this one works.
you're not
That's
doing
duty.
anything for 10 minutes, get out.
Okay, but just in the duty.
And we
Yeah.
already had a discussion about what if you have to go to the bathroom for 10 minutes, and people are saying they don't have to go to the bathroom for 10 minutes. So I guess I'm the only one that,
Yeah. What
Yeah.
If,
Does-
but what if you want to read, or
yeah, like
Take
what
your
if you have to go
time.
make dinner in the middle of an instance?
yeah? I know.
Well, then, that sucks. I guess dinner's gonna suffer. No salt.
Okay. So now if you leave a duty, it's gonna be 30 minutes before
Instead
you
of
go back
15.
in.
Yeah, that's big because people have been leaving a lot. Like you rage quit, and the bigger the punishment, I think, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
If
So
people
it's
want to
encouraging people to stick it out. Hopefully.
And of course the last, and I cannot smile enough. Increased elegant tombstones from 300 to 450.
Goal!
Oh my god, for all of you scholars out there that are heavy myth, this is like the best thing ever. I'm gearing my scholar now personally, so I'm like, yes, let's do this. We have, instead of waiting freaking 3 weeks to do your +1 weapon, it's now 2 weeks. Ah.
And I believe it's like 2.5 or something for your AF +1 breastplate. Oh no, it's 2 weeks.
No, it's 2 weeks. It's good because it's 450 each, so it's gonna be great.
Now imagine people that have like 5 relic +1s already.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's like, oh, well,
It's like, God dang it.
don't you feel good about getting that shiny old Marauder axe now?
Very nice.
I didn't
very
get mine.
nice.
I didn't need the sparklies to be cool.
See?
Well, yeah.
This was the only thing that was in bold and underlined in
Oh.
our outline, so it's very,
It's very important.
very important.
Bold means
Fancy.
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
bold, bold is good. All right. So some other changes. Sort function put in.
Better one.
A better
Sort function?
Yes, a better one. It's you
better
can just
one?
right-click /sort now in the inventory,
Oh,
and you
the
can sort it the way
inventory
you want.
sort. Okay, I was like, I don't know what that is.
one. You can
Well,
skip
what else is-
cutscenes.
Yeah, automatically.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Should we put that in bold?
Oh, maybe just a little bit. I mean, who hasn't seen the
Well, for
cutscene
the-
for freaking WP a million times?
Yeah.
If that's for PS3 users, I'm sure they'll love that because they always have that like delay in between, so that they can just skip on through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just an auto function, so you just put in the.
Yep, you
In
can
the
automatically
options.
say, hey, I don't want to see any cutscene, and it'll do it for you.
Okay, cool. So you have no idea what's going on if you're playing through for the first time, but then.
There
watches
are
cutscenes?
people that have multiple 50s and have yet to see any cutscenes in the game. So if you're not gonna
Yo.
watch it, you're not gonna watch it.
Is that why when I asked you about the story chip, you're just like, it's gonna be okay.
We
No,
killed
I mean,
some guys.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw the ending, but I was
Ultimate
more
eats
happy,
people.
like, because that first run I did it took 2 freaking hours to kill Praetorium. I'm like, oh, I'm finally done. And now Praetorium's like 20 minutes, like, oh, hey, let's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you went a little overboard on the CM and Praetorian.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now pet macros. Now.
Oh, that's actually really good. Because
Yeah.
now PS3 players have the ability to do what PC's people have been doing.
Huh.
To macro embrace. And they also said the fairies will no longer... that's not a correct term I can use here. They won't use all their spells at once. And now you can tell them micromanage your pet. So...
Yeah, it'll be really nice for scholars because scholar, if you're a good scholar, you use your pet. If you don't, um, sorry, you need to step up your game. If you wanted just one heal, use a white mage.
Yeah, the pet makes a huge difference. Like, here's your healing, not micromanaging the pet. Micromanaging. Not micromanaging. Micromanaging.
That's a big difference. That's like that much
Her
difference.
potency is like, it's like 100 potency heal, plus you can stack more heals on her, plus it goes off of your stats.
No, Celine has a 300 potency heal, so it's just as much as a
AoE heal?
Oh, not AoE. I'm talking single target.
Oh, okay.
Cool. And most important of all, tons of new items.
Yeah, there's gonna be a ton of stuff. So
And
this
more
will be
greens
really
and
great.
purples dies, so I can
Yes.
finally get my She-Hulk look on my
Yeah,
armor.
so that's a good thing. More dies. So if any of you copy my look when I first start this game on Tuesday, I will seriously be pissed off
I'm sure
because
there's
I'm like,
gonna be a lot of people in pink running around.
oh, screw.
Did
Oh,
they have
no.
pink?
No, they added a new pink dye, I think. But I'm more interested in the additional blues. It's more, they added like a deeper shade of royal blue.
The blues were bad. It was like gay-looking sky blue abyss. It was like there was nothing in between.
And more greens. That was one thing they were lacking. They're really lacking the
Yeah,
green
there's
wood
no good
colors.
like Hulk green. It's like
There's no Hulk.
yeah,
There really isn't.
there's not a
Is there
good
gonna
Hulk
be a
green.
Hulk green now?
Hopefully, right now I'm a Christmas tree color.
Yeah, seriously, it's kind of gross actually.
What? I'm a great Christmas tree.
A big Christmas tree.
Yeah, I even have the little bark on my legs from the Allegan leggings.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. All right. So, anything else you need to talk about 2.1?
Just guys, this is gonna be a great patch for us. This looks fantastic for us. A lot of people will be coming back, so please be aware. A lot of people, we're gonna have an influx of people coming back. I'm sure of it. It's like, oh hey
I'm gonna
guys,
be getting a lot of tells like, why was I removed from Grievance after being AFK for more than 2 months?
Hey, anyone else want to run Brayflocks? Wait. So just be patient for that. Be aware that people were not as interested in it. But let's face it, we're the ones who stuck it through. We're the ones who's going to be rewarded. So good job on staying, and I really cannot wait to see you guys after the patch.
I hope the servers come up at a timely manner.
Oh no, they're coming up midnight Tuesday or midnight. Yeah,
So they say
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what they've
so
done.
when are they going down? 6 hours from now?
tonight.
5 hours, yeah, less than 5 hours.
So midnight
Midnight to midnight.
Pacific?
24 hours.
to midnight. 24 hours to implement a patch.
I'd rather they get it right. I'm actually okay with taking a break from Final Fantasy for a day, do some laundry, clean up. You guys see that little paper there? Maybe replace that with something more permanent instead of
Okay.
just paper.
Yeah.
Are you using paper to block the light out of your window?
Yes, that's actual paper from like a UPS box.
UPS.
Chip,
Yeah, I couldn't even
chip,
go
chip.
get paper. I had to
Let
get
me-
UPS.
I can't show you this, but there are things called drapes. Have you heard of them?
Look at how small this is. Look at it. It's the size of a freaking
Is
half
that what your
moon.
personal house is going to look like when you get one in Final Fantasy? You have
Oh no,
paper.
mine's
A lot
gonna
of
be
us are going to be
amazing.
living in boxes because we can't afford the goddamn houses.
You don't have $1 million, or how much was it? 30 million or whatever.
35
For a single house,
million.
we don't even know. It's probably going to be less, but still.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of money. So yeah.
Okay. So now it's encouraging you guys to make tons of money, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Guild donations. Let's go, guys. Let's step it up.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for talking about Final Fantasy for this evening. We want to thank you guys for coming on. Chip, thanks for talking about everything, all things Final Fantasy.
Of
Vagina.
course.
This was our first cast, and so we're gonna take a few weeks off because of Christmas and all the holidays that are coming up. But starting in January, we'll make sure to keep the Final Fantasy cast going. We're not sure if we're gonna do one every week or probably every other week.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll be uploading those to our YouTube, and so follow us on our Grievance site on YouTube. You can also follow us here on Twitch. Go to our website at Grievance Gaming, and follow us on Twitter at Grievance Gaming, or follow me at Dashiva. Anybody else have any Twitter accounts?
I told Shadow and Gibson I would mention their names.
Okay. Shout
I
out.
have a Twitter that I use for deals. That's it. It's like, oh, hey,